Hey guys, Happy New Year! Happy New Year, you guys.
Happy New Year, Jay.
Happy New
Thank
Year,
you.
Coach Jason.
So we wanted to come and talk today. We just wanted to have a little conversation as coaches. We're missing two of our other coaches. Coach Katie, she's under the weather.
She is sick.
And Coach Gabby is at home with her newborn. So, with her first year for that for her.
Yeah.
So we're excited for her. So, but we wanted to come to you guys today and just kind of talk about some things that, kick off at the start of the year, and a couple of topics. For example, health and fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one. Yeah.
Who would have thought we would have
What a
talked about health and
concept.
fitness?
So, yeah. And wanted to talk about, I wanted to ask you guys, why do you think that most of goals of health and fitness, why does it fail for people?
Claire, you want to start?
Sure. I will definitely say in my own experience and experience working with people that the biggest deterrent to staying on top of the goal is that they get really excited at the beginning of the year, and then the New Year resolution thing ends about that first week of February. It's like, okay, we're past January, now we're back to life. Everything's still the same. It's kind of, I think that the mantra New Year, New Me is super misleading because you're actually the same you.
Yeah.
You're the same you on
Nothing
December
has changed.
31st
Right.
as January 1st, as January 30th. And
Right.
so we lose sight of those dedications because life just is normal, right?
Absolutely.
And so we lose that momentum,
Yeah.
I think, typically.
Yeah, there's a percentage of people that actually fall off. It's within the first 2 weeks with their new you, kind of that whole mantra. But it's like 50% of people fall off, and then it's another 20% by the end of January. So like it goes quick.
Yeah, I think
So-
you're down to it's something like 3 to 6% actually achieve what they set out to at the start of the year.
Crazy.
I think the reason that happens really predominantly is that you haven't set up your environment to make it happen naturally.
Absolutely.
Right.
90% of your daily life is habitual. So if you don't change anything about your daily life and you expect that your habits are just going to change, you're going to meet all these goals, well, they're not. And so what happens is you fall back into the same monotonous, kind of boring, kind of lack of motivation setup that you're always in, and then nothing ever changes, right? So instead of going out and joining a gym, you're like, I'm going to take it on myself to go to a big box gym, and then what happens? Well, you're bored, you don't know what to do, and your results don't happen, so then you are like, well, this is dumb, and you quit. Or you're like, I'm going to eat healthy this year, but you don't throw away the Oreos, the Coke, all the trash that's in your house, and then it's like Friday night and you're bored and you're like, oh, I just want the cookies, and then it's, I'll start tomorrow, and then it's, I'll start Monday, and then it's February, you're like, well, I give up, and you're 6 months later,
I
and
think
you're
that's what the big thing that you said there was, is that people expect to see results so fast. And one of the things, the sayings that I love is, however long it took you to get the way that you are, it's going to take a substantial amount of time to work against that. I have people who come to me all the time, like, I just want to lose my belly fat. Well, how long have we been eating the way that we're eating, not exercising? It's not going to come off that quickly.
1, 3, 5 years,
Yeah,
not
many
that that's
years.
going to take you that much time to take it off, but you might have been in that habit of eating for that long, for 5, 7 years. You could have been in a bad relationship or a bad, just bad environment as a whole. So and that kind of stuff adds up.
4 weeks doesn't do much.
I know, and it actually takes 60 to 284 days to form a habit. Ooh, like
Really?
That's
60?
a large range.
that's a
Correct.
very long time.
60 to 200.
Is that based on how hard the habit is? Like how different it is than what you always do,
It
or?
depends on the person.
Okay.
Each person.
So it's
is
more
different.
individual than
Correct.
habit-based?
Correct. So 60 to 284 days. Very weird. So let's how about some tips on how you can actually accomplish this for your new year?
Yeah, so I did something fun this year. I really like goals, but I was having a hard time sitting down and doing them. We use a lot of different things. I've written things on our site about Whoopee goal setting, which is probably my favorite context with which to set a goal. But actually, I found this thing, honestly, I found it on Instagram. And it was just in 2020, I will start, quit, be, have, achieve, kind of these ad-lib sentences.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Almost
So,
more like thematic goal setting versus a finite, strict,
Exactly.
result-oriented
Exactly.
goal necessarily.
it was more like, what do you want your life to look like?
Right.
And it kind of helped you feel it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And so I wrote it down, and then I wrote it on an iPad, and then I pinned it inside of a spot that I'm always at. So that's getting to my point. I'll finally get there in a roundabout way. Put it somewhere that you always see. So that's the tip. Remind yourself of it, because the reason you lose motivation, like Claire talked about, is that you forget about your goals.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, oh, that was the thing I really wanted. But then you feel like, now I can't get there.
Yeah, and it's like you've already ruined it because you didn't start it and maintain it. So then you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna have to wait till next January 1st, right?
And there is a psychological factor to New Year's that does give you a sense of I can do it now.
Right.
Absolutely.
And when you don't have that, you lose that sense. So
Yeah.
make it somewhere that you see it often, so that you just get reminded. That's one thing that I would do.
Do you guys like goal boards? Do either of you do goal boards?
I don't really do goal board. I love journaling though. So like for me, a really effective way to stay on top of whatever my goal is that I'm working on, whether it's like getting back in the gym if I've been kind of lazy for a couple of weeks and I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna journal my workouts, I'm gonna respond, like write how they felt, write, you know, whatever experience I had, my nutrition, all of that stuff. Journaling is huge for me for staying on top of my goals because each day I will, you know, at the end of the day, basically go in and touch base on whatever it was I was working towards.
You like vision boards a lot. How do you do them?
Yeah,
like,
so
I tell people how you do them.
Yeah, so I actually think about this table here. I like to take a big cardboard area, and then I will poster board, if you will, and then I like to divide it up into different areas. So I actually do 6 different areas on my poster board.
Oh, wow.
So I knew this was very exact. This is why I wanted you to share.
Yeah, so I do family, financial, business, because I have a big section on our business. I also do personal, which would be relationships. You know, many people know that I was in a long-term relationship for 16 years, and a couple years ago it fell apart, and then I took 2 years to find myself. So that I used that personal sign, and then I have fallen in love in the last several months with an amazing person that I look forward to seeing how that is going to continue. So, but yeah, personal, and then I make sure I do education and achievements as well. So like, what do I want to learn this year? So I put certain books under in that section, but I divide my area up. And then achievements, like things that I want to achieve over the course of the year. Maybe that's, you know, like another certification for CrossFit or whatever it might be, but I always do those little things. So, but I find things in magazines and I cut it out and I put it on there. I don't just, I've seen some vision boards that, you know, for some people works for you.
It's like,
just
like a collage.
A collage of stuff, and it's like, woo! Yeah,
there
but
was
I don't do that.
a woman on The The Bachelor, who she actually had a career in doing vision boards, and they were exactly like that. It was like magazine cutouts and like fulfilling her destiny through magazines. Yes.
And people like to do it with Pinterest boards too. A lot of people love doing it with Pinterest.
Pinterest is actually a really cool tool that I feel like is super underutilized because you can do a lot of fun stuff on there that helps you to like really conceptualize like whatever the thing is that your wedding, whatever it is.
I'll use one that is totally random. I think giving yourself some moments that are like fun is a really good way to keep yourself on track with your goals too. So a lot of times people sit down and they're like, okay, the number one like goal in the new year is not actually health and fitness, it's finances. I want to get my finances in line. Well, okay, honestly, getting your finances in line is not fun. It typically means spending less money, going out to eat less, traveling less. Like it's all less. It's all taking away from like life experiences. So it's not necessarily fun. And then you have health and fitness, which like we love to be healthy and active, but at the end of the day, like in the middle of a really hard workout, you're not necessarily like, I am having such a great time.
Or after a super long day at work when you're like want to go home and go to bed.
Exactly. So it's not always like the easy things. So giving yourself little goals that are like fun to look forward to and are completely separate. Like you mentioned experiences. Well, one thing that I've like really gotten into in the last little bit, like I feel like I'm getting old now. I love rum. Like it's a thing. Like I really find it interesting. I find it fascinating. And so I was like, I want to learn how to make a great cocktail. Yeah. That was like literally a goal I put down. Like this year, I want to learn how to make a great cocktail. So it was like, now as I think about, okay, I've got like these health goals, I have this goal, but I'm not just focusing on things that are hard for me. I'm also focusing on things that are like fun and fulfilling and like just different, that keep you looking forward to different areas of your life.
Are you also going to AA?
I might be at the end of the year if I really jack that one up.
No, but the goals are great, and I think that giving yourself a reward as well, something to look forward to, is really important throughout the process. You know, for people that are in the health and fitness side or that are focusing on like weight loss, get in front of a coach. A coach can help you set goals. Yeah. Because if you don't really know, you're like, I'm here and I want to look like this. Okay, we can help you attain that. Yeah. So, last topic I wanted to talk about is, you know, really kind of gets back to this, but just in general, is taking care of yourself. I don't think that many people take that time out, whether it's, you know, maybe it's a religious side of things, or maybe it's just like alone time that you need, or what do you guys do to kind of just take a breather? So you know, we've talked, I mean, you kind of touched on this a little bit here, but what do you do, and especially, I mean, you might have some good points, like things that you're trying to do, just as, like to kind of debrief, especially after a long day or a long weekend or a relationship or a work day or something that you've had that's gone wrong. So.
For me, getting outside is huge. So that was something when I lived on the West Coast that I did all the time. Like I would go on these massive hikes on Saturday. I'd like wake up at 5 a.m. on Saturday morning to go hike, like especially when I was having a hard time. Because just getting out of your environment and going somewhere new, even somewhere that you love to go. Like how many times have I hiked Eagle Creek Park? I got lost there last week. It was fine. But it was such a nice day. It was like beautiful to get out and get out of my apartment, get out of my space, get out of my head, and just like enjoy being outside. That for me is a huge self-care
I love that
component. Yeah.
Well, you guys know that I love to go over to the lake, and I like to sit on the dock, and because there's a lake right by my house, and I just love to go and sit and just like let everything go at that point. So yeah.
Do you always like meditate there? Like it's probably not formal meditation, but you just sit and like breathe and just be present.
Well, and like I love to meditate. Many people do. Like as Westerners, we really don't do a lot of meditation, but also prayer is a form of meditation.
It is.
So I do pray. But I do a lot of meditation as well, so I do both. So I meditate in the morning and I pray at night. So yeah, because I have to pray for you.
I did. Well, I'm going to AA, so.
Yeah, right.
No, I do not use alcohol. Let's put it that way. That's the thing I don't do. Actually, in all seriousness, like I'm pretty big on that. Like if you're in a bad mood, it's probably the last place you should turn. Like you should not use a depressive substance. That's what alcohol is. When you're already had a tough day, really tired, it is not going to help you. So save those sorts of treats for yourself in times where you want to celebrate, connect with friends. Use it as a tool to support you, not as a thing that is a crutch. So I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, I drink a lot too.
Well, I know. So we crutch each other, so we just AA with each other.
Neither of them ever drink, so.
No, I read and write. So I like reading books. I'm a total nerd. One of my favorite gifts from this Christmas was a gift from my brother that it was like 350 pages long. Yeah. Very nerdy, and I devoured it in like 5 days. Like I love to get into that sort of like deep thought because it pulls me out of the daily life. And so same way you mentioned going to the lake, same way you mentioned being outside, you're able to kind of like get out of your head. When I'm outside, I just think constantly. It's just like thoughts coming through. So the way that I get out of that sort of situation is to read really good books, and then I will journal as well. I kind of picked up like various types of journaling practice and which one fits and which one doesn't. But just something of writing and like kind of exporting what's in my head. Eventually, at the end of like a long page, I will be like, there's the nugget, right? So reading and writing is my form of getting out. And
there's a lot of other things you can do for that too. Like I used to love to read, especially when I was having a bad day. But then my mind would just float.
Spin.
But you guys know I love documentaries. I will sit down and watch a documentary, and then I'll come back and report on it. Or I like to watch a comedy, like something that's just gonna make you laugh.
Even like volunteering, I think is an awesome opportunity.
That's a great one.
I forget about that all the time, that like it is proven that if you are caring for other people, your mind is off of yourself, and in the process of making those people feel better by caring for them, you make yourself feel infinitely better.
I've had days where I've come in here to coach and not been at it, like when I first show up, and I'm like gotta kind of motivate myself, and by the time it's the middle of the class, like I've helped 3 people with something that was important for them, and you kind of see them light up and have a moment, and you just feel better. Like you just do. Even when you first walk in, and it might be like a day where like, I gotta kind of motivate myself here to show up for class. It really helps to kind of turn it on. Yeah. I think games are helpful too. Like my wife and I play games. Katie and I play games like Rummy Cube. We've been playing that lately. Very fun. You kind of get out and you're like, oh my gosh, we've been playing for 2 hours, and you kind of forget about the crap going on. And it's just fun, a little bit like banter back and forth. So.
Well, good. Well, this is awesome. We just wanted to come and talk today and just kind of have a little general session here.
Podcast session on video.
So, but we hope that you have an awesome new year. And if you want to share your goals, or if you need help with some of your goals, especially in the health and fitness side of things, then come and talk to us. We would love to help you out. Or reach out to us, put it in the comment section, or you can email us as well via our website. Otherwise, have an awesome rest of your day, weekend, and Happy New Year to all of you. Take care. Bye-bye.